Hello everyone, it's Type here. It's the fifth, no, it's the sixth week of Fella as we are going to face Patrick, our buddy from Ireland, who is the coach of Atlanta. Altarias, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see it in a minute. However, Patrick is a cool guy. I've been helping him, especially in the RBL draft. He's been helping me a little on some matchups, I believe in both Fella and RBL. And I'm very excited to battle him. I would argue this is probably my biggest or toughest challenge so far. And let's have a look at our team straight away. So I have Tornadus T, Infernet, Magnet. Oh, Magnet. For this match, I have Mesprit, but I will change it to Magneton for next week. Whimsicott, Empoleon, Ladias, Megadancy, Golurk, King, Troliferd, Rodent Frost, and Garbodor. So this is my team as a recap, and then Patrick's team. So he has Victini, Manafish, Shaman, Flogus, Noivern, Yuxi, Frostos, Electivire, Roselia, Mega Absol, Lucario, and Metang. And first of all, we see that very interesting Pixie core, Victini, Manafish, Shaman. Very interesting and very hard for us especially. And overall, I feel he has very good matchup against us in a way that he has he has some mons that we have to bring certain mons for, such as I really need Whimsicott for Mega Absol. I really need something for Victini, and I'm gonna bring Ladia, so I really need that for Victini. And I need something to stop Manaphy from potentially sweeping. I need to check Noivern, which is a huge threat because it outspeeds all my mons. But he has one very huge weakness, which is hazards. He has no hazard removal. His only way of kind of deterring hazards is Mega Absol, which is like the worst magic bouncer in the game. You know, in deterring hazards. You know, like magic bounce is good for Mega Absol, but it doesn't use it to bounce hazards back, basically. So definitely I want to bring hazard sack. Also, he has a Florges, so I really need to be able to capitalize on that, and I can't let it beat me 1v1, so I need to bring something for that too. So let's go and see my team. So here we go, and yeah, so this was very hard to build. Like I literally had like 3 different plans for him, and then this is a 4th one. I finally came down with a pretty cool team, I think. And the idea here is to hazard stack, obviously. So I have especially defensive Mega Diancie there. With Stealth Rock, Moonblast, Diamond Storm, and Toxic. With max HP, a lot of special defense, some special attack. So basically the idea here is this is my switch into Yuxi. This is my switch into Noivern. Even Roselia, if he brings that. Depending on the set, even to, I guess, Mega Absol or Frostlass. Definitely Frostlass, actually. And my goal is to bounce back every kind of hazard. He has a set of rocks and just hit hard with the aforementioned mons, and also have Toxic to kind of turn them down. Also, Toxic is kind of bad because I'm also gonna bring Hazard, so I have here my Garbodor Bolt the Door making the appearance in this season, and the name everyone who has watched Game of Thrones will get this, probably this name, and those who don't, go watch it. Spikes, T-Spikes, Gunk Shot, Drain Punch, Hazards, of course, I want them up. Gunk Shot with max attack will has a chance to one shot Focus from full, whereas Poison Jab doesn't quite have a chance to 1v1 the Wish Protect max defensive variant if he decides to bring that, so I didn't want to go for Poison Jab for that one reason. Drain Punch there for coverage, I was thinking about going for Explosion, but if I don't have Explosion, I don't have the risk to click it before I have not dealt with Flogus. Drain Punch is pretty nice against things like, especially Lucario, and also Mega Absol, I guess. Those two mainly. Enough speed for Yuxi, it seems, and yeah. Also, by the way, the thing about Mega Dance, really the 40 IVs here in special attack, because they don't really give that much. Like the changes in damage outputs, it's under 1% the change that it usually gives in cogs if I have the stats in here in special defense. So that's why I have them in special attack instead. Okay, so my next mon is my. Let's go through the Whimsicott set, Moonblast, U-turn, Taunt, Lead Sheet. This is my dedicated Mega Absolute check. There's U-turn for momentum, Taunt just to taunt, especially the hazard setters from Patrick, and Lead Sheet as a kind of a semi-cleric option there. Also, if he has knockoff Yuxi, I can set up Siege on it so I can recover against it, which is pretty huge because I don't really have good knockoff switchings. Maybe my Infernape is one. Let's go through Infernape next. So it's a Payapa Berry Iron Fist with Mach Punch, Earthquake, Fire Punch, and Slack Off. Max HP, max defense, and this is my check to. This can check physically offensive Victini. This can check. I guess this can check Electivire, physically offensive Lucario, even Mega Absol, things like that. It can check, or I guess Metang as well. Payapa Berry there so that I can check the Victini better. I have another kind of check slash counter for it as well, but I thought that I just want to have it just in case. As you can already see, this team is very fat, very stally. My plan is to basically have switching for everything and just let the hazards jet through his team. Also get rid of Mega Absol as fast as possible. I also have Mach Punch here to do a lot of damage to the Absol. With the Iron Fist boost, it will do a lot of damage, definitely. Mach Punch especially for Mega Absol, Lucario, and Earthquake mainly for Electivire and yeah, I guess Electivire and Victini. Victini definitely, yeah, does that. And Iron Fist boosted Fire Punch I feel is a better option than Flare Blitz. It's essentially a flamethrower, but just physical. So it's just fine with Iron Fist boost, I mean. Next I have my Ladias here. Dragon Pulse, Wisp, Protect, Toxic. I guess I could run T-Wave as well, but like yeah, I have Toxic Spikes, but Toxic is nice for, I don't know, Noivern, especially Yuxi. I could go T-Wave, I guess, as well, or even coverage for like HP Fire, but I think I'll go Toxic, and I've max defense again, and like yeah, I have a lot of max. Basically, I have no custom spread, maybe a little bit with Diancie, but I've made these calcs, and really these custom spreads, I mean non-custom spreads, actually work very well. They give me some very nice, um, like they let me take some hits. For example, I can check physical victory and physical elective are a lot better if I have max defense, and I still have very good special defense, so it doesn't really make that big of a difference. And yeah, I have wish support for the Dians. As you can see, I have a base 80 and here is base 50, so wishes are actually gonna heal a lot. Same for Infernape. Even, you know, for Garbodor, I have very low HP on all of my mons, so wish support is from Ladias is actually very good. And last, my real trump card, my sweeper. Cheshire Cat, the library making the return this season. Focus just Prankster, Dark Pulse, Encore, Nasty Blood, Copycat. With enough speed to outspeed base 100s. Actually, does he have a base 101 mon there? Or why do I have 331? I'm not sure. Okay, I know now. Yeah, I used to have HP fighting. I think that's the reason. But I decided to go without it because they said it's a lot more reliable if you don't take the coverage into account, basically. Okay, so the plan here. Okay, this can not only check the Tail Claw mana fee, it can also capitalize on it. It can basically turn his setup against him and give it to me. I can encore the Tail Glow. Turn after that, even if he switches out, I can copycat it. But +3 and +3 Darkness actually deals a lot of holes to his team. I also have a chance to just anchor something into a setup move or anything like that, and just start nasty plotting up. And so his more passive mons definitely will won't, like, they are always in the risk of being a setup fodder with this set. And he only has, I believe, 3 resists for dark, which are Flawless, Mega Absol, Lucario. I believe Lucario dies to +4 Dark Pulse, Mega Absol probably even to +3 or so. Flawless is a problem, but I have my dedicated counter for it. And also hazards will wear down the Flawless very quickly. Flawless is also a hazard set fodder there. And this is actually the set that I originally wanted to bring against Frankie. It would have been pretty cool to kinda have that Ladias set. I had Draco Meteor so that I could Draco Meteor, lure in some setup mons and then bring in this Liepard and just set up. But he made some switch into his team, so I didn't want to because he had Dark Resist. So, but I'm bringing it now because it's very good check for a setup mana fee basically. And overall against his team is pretty good. Also, the thing with Copycat is that if I kill something with Dark Pulse next turn, I can actually get my priority Dark Pulse, which is pretty cool. Also with Diancie, I can keep the hazards away from my field and keep the focus sash intact, which will also help me a lot. But yeah, this is my team. This is the one that worked pretty nicely actually in the prep battle, but the other ones didn't. So I'm hopeful with this team, but I mean, this is kind of a playstyle I'm not that used to, but at the same time, this is a very good team because for this kind of a new playstyle, because I don't have to make any plays. I can just make the safe plays every time, pretty much, and he can't do anything for that. But that's my team. I'm pretty proud about this. This is a very hard match to build for. So let's hope it works out. So here's a battle, and as you can see, he brings all the threats. There's Flogas, Victini, Absol, Yuxi, Manaphy, and Lucario. But straight away we see that okay, I have Gabrador for that. Flogas, I have a Ladias and even Infernape for that. Absol for the Victini, Infernape for Absol. I have two toxic users to toxic the Yuxi and wear it down. Manaphy is a problem. Actually, Manaphy is a huge problem. I don't even understand how little I prepped for Manaphy. But yeah, I have Liepard, which can possibly check the setup Manaphy. And there's Lucario. What for? I have Infernape. I have Ladias. So actually, I have a pretty good matchup defensively. So I actually, of course, I want to lead off with Mega Diancie. And now someone please tell me what was my reason to switch it. I'm max special defense almost. Energy Ball is nowhere near to like KO me, I think. So like I was fearing Victini, but I'm not sure at all what. I mean, it's possible that I actually calked something like the Fusion Bolt and I just didn't want to take it. I don't know. Or my turn 2 play, I don't want the Yuxi to set up rocks. I mean, I hope he doesn't do that. I go into Diancie hoping he does something else, but he makes U-turn, so I can't Mega either even yet. So I was thinking, damn, I should have had Protect on that Diancie, but I didn't. So I make a switch into my switching, which is my Infernape too. Like it's my switch into that Absol. And he misses Iron Tail, which is nice because I don't give any information about my set at this point. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna I'm gonna make an aggressive double because I know that he doesn't want to stay in. So I get in my Diancie, and this is actually very bad because I don't know what kind of Manaphy he is. So if I stay in and take a Scald, I know I can take a Scald. I just want to get off my Mega. Uh, there's a chance that he goes for Tail Glow. I may not be able to beat it, but if I go to aggressively to Liepard, there's a chance that he does not set up and I just sack my Liepard for nothing. But I make a risky play, I go for Moonblast, and that's good because he goes for Scald. I actually see from the Moonblast damage that he's actually very bulky set with some special defense, probably max HP. And he reveals U-turn and Scald, so I'm actually very relieved at this point because I'm pretty sure that he is uh, not set up Tail Glow. And he brings in Flogus, so I bring in my Gobbleder in front of it, and he just goes for Protect. And here I don't want the Absol to come in on my hazard, so I just want to go for Gunk Shot. It was all around my best play. If I would have been boss, I would have gone for Drain Punch on the switch, but it didn't matter. Gunk Shot KO'd anyway. The Absol, and that's a huge threat gone actually. And in comes the Victini, and this time I just decided to switch into the Ladias because the Psychic Tap move was pretty obvious. I actually didn't calc this damage if it was like Bandit or what kind of Victini. I think it was Scarf actually. And at this point I'm free to go for Wish and with Fish Up I can pretty much do whatever I want to react to his play. He brings in Flogus, so I can just bring back in my Garbodor as he makes a good aggressive switch into Lucario. And I'm not sure what he was expecting, but like maybe I don't know Diancie or something. I don't know, but I will be able to go. I actually want to go for Drain Punch, being kind of aggressive, I guess, trying to damage that Lucario. In comes Manaphy, doesn't do much at all. He sets up Rain Dance as I'm like, okay, I want to get up some hazards. Maybe a bit reckless of a play because I need Garbodor for that Flogus. But he goes for Rain Dance, and at this point, I am I'm certain that he's not Tail Glow, which is so good news because I had nothing for it really. And I switch into my Whimsicott because it can take those water type moves, and it doesn't take super effective damage from U-turn, unlike the Latias. So I actually decided to go for Leech It, kinda see what he wants to do. He goes for Rest, expecting a grass type move, I think. And now I make a very aggressive play again, expecting him to still expect my offensive grass type moves. So I go for double Leech It, and that actually pays off because he doesn't want to take damage from a possible Giga Drain or Energy Boss. So I go for double Leech It, get some more damage to Victini, which is important because that's my way to beat these offensive monsters. Just whittle them down little by little, and I make the switch into my Ladias again because he could go for Psychic type move again, but he goes for U-turn. And yeah, like looking at that damage, it can't be bandit. It just is not a bandit Victini. So he goes into Flawless, and that's annoying because now it has regular poison, and I would really prefer it being toxic. And actually, at this point, I protect to kind of scout what he does, and I don't need. I mean, at this point, it's actually fine because I don't even mind him wishing and passing it to something else because he's in full health pretty much. He goes into the Yuxi, and you know, Diancie is it's my dedicated switching for this mon. In comes the Lucario once again, and I go into my dedicated switching for Lucario, which is the Infernape, and at this point Patrick is just playing it very safe and goes to what's in front of him, being the Diancie, because a Bullet Punch doesn't do anything at all. I believe I go for Fire Punch, if I am correct. And yeah, I am, and it does nothing, but Manaphy is now poisoned, which is, it's okay, uh, I guess. And now I'm actually gonna make a very aggressive double again, expecting Rain Dance. No, I'm not, because I realized that offensive Infernape just 3 chaos with close combat. Yeah, I was considering to switch into Liepard, but I realized that there's no reason to like click Rain Dance when you get 3 KO'd by close combat, so I didn't do that. So I switched to Gladius instead, and now I swim as he brings in Flogus. I go into Garbodor because like Flogus is always a switching for the Garbodor, especially since it doesn't seem to have any psychic type coverage. So at this point, my best play is to start just for more hazards, so I don't need any more T-spikes, so I just click spikes to get those hazards up, to get that damage on every switching. So now I just go into, yeah, now I'm expecting the Rain Dash, so I go into my life part, but really this set was like, this underestimated Patrick a lot, honestly. Like any good player expects the Encore at this point, and Patrick very makes a very solid read, and brings in Lucario on the live part. Gains some momentum. I really have no reason to leave a live part alive, so I just let it die to extreme speed. I let the Lucario take more life up damage. I just bring in my Infernape to kinda scare the Lucario out. As in comes the Yuxi, and I just go for EQ, kinda expecting maybe Manaphy to come in, but he brings in the Yuxi, which is unfortunate because there's just free damage gone. I bring in my Diancie, and I can actually take Psyshock very well, so maybe I should have put those 40 IVs into defense instead of special attack. At this point, I don't really need Diancie because he didn't bring Noivern at all, and I don't really mind rocks as much as I thought. So I can just set up my own rocks because that's what I want more. And I can go for Wish as I'm expecting him to set up rocks, which it does, and now I can pretty much just yeah, actually what I do, I want to try to toxic the Yuxi, but he makes a switch into Flogus, which is good play. I think the Flogus was his dedicated check or slash counter for my Ladias, but it actually doesn't really work out because I have a better, even better counter for his Flogus, which is my Gabudor. And now we are in a very interesting position where basically uh, Patrick can't really break through my Ladios and Gabudor, whereas I can't really break through his Flogus plus Yuxi, especially when I have to I have to gunk shot on after these wishes because I can't let him uh, like pass. I don't want to let him pass the wishes. So there's a risk that if this pattern kind of goes on, that he switches into Yuxi on my Gabador, I switch into my Ladias on the Yuxi. No, on the switch I go for a spike, so I get the pressure more on his side. But basically, uh, this kind of pattern it goes on, and as I go into Ladias to, well, he goes for U-turn, doesn't do much at all, so he can just bring him back the Flogus, gain the momentum again. I get some more damage to Flogus with the hazards, but he can just spike. I mean, he can just wish up as I bring in my Gabodor, and we are again in the same position where um, I could set up more hazards, or I can just hit what is in front of me. But the thing with Gunk Shot is that it doesn't actually. It only has 8 PP basically. So if this kind of pattern goes on for a long enough time, I will lose my gunk shots and I won't be able to beat that Flogus. So that's like the problem here. But I actually decided to uh, change things up a little, as does he, which is pretty interesting. He goes for Psyshock. I just go for Moonblast because I can't really go for Legit anyway, because I'm expecting him to U-turn out because there's not much that he can do, and Legit is probably my best play there. So he goes into Flogus, which is actually pretty huge because I haven't revealed the taunt yet, and I mean I think that was a kind of a reckless play from him, going into Flogus, trying to wish up without knowing my set, without knowing if I have taunt or not. But I have taunt, and this means that after the toxic damage, he's actually in the hazards range. So that's a gone, like the Flogus gone from his side, and that's a huge pivotal moment in this battle, because now my Whimsicott plus Ladias basically and with the support of Infernape can possibly beat the like win the game for me. He goes for V-Create, and now I expect Mach Punch out of his boosted to -1 defense to KO the Victini from that range, but it actually doesn't. But neither does the V-Create, so he brings in Yuxi, thinking that okay, I'm gone. I'm not. I have Slack off. I have Payapa Berry. This was a pretty fun turn actually, and what I want to do now, I realize that the Lucario is still possibly a threat. So I actually want to gain as much HP as possible with my Infernape. He gets up a couple crits there with Psyshock, so I don't even mind. I can just keep slacking off. I don't mind that he recovers with leftovers because I can toxic him later on if I just get an opportunity. Um, I just want to get to as much health as possible to be able to just force as many life orb recoils for the Lucario as possible. And in comes a mana fee, and I think my best play is to just switch into Whimsicott, because it can take the hit best basically, and it I'm a bit afraid that if he Scald Burns me here, but he doesn't. He just goes for rest, and this is perfect because I can just go for Legit and heal a little bit of damage. He wants to switch out, but this is perfect for me because I don't mind that mana being in full health as long as it is asleep. It can't do anything to me, and it's either free Legit, free wish, or free slack off for me. So I go for Moonblast on that Yuxi as it goes for U-turn, and this is actually very okay. I'm gonna pause. This was a very important moment for me because I have not revealed the U-turn. So basically, this is a turn that there was a lot of momentum in game for me because had I like if I had I believe gone for my options, I believe were to either switch out into Infernape, predicting that Lucario to hit me, or to stay in, predicting the switch because Infernape really can't do anything to mana feed. Would have been a free like sleep burns to mana feed if I hard switched into Infernape there. But I realized that actually my best play is to U-turn with Whimsicott so I can see if he wants to switch out, predicting my switch, and he does stay in, so that means that I can just bring in my Infernape. And he goes for close combat. Actually, I believe that's a roll to not KO. Well, it was pretty good roll there. I mean, for my favor, basically. So the Lucario is very low, and I'm going to lie this because it's the only mon that I know for sure. Even if it had crunch, couldn't beat me, like couldn't KO me, and he actually has Swords Dance and makes a good play there going for a Swords Dance because I was really tempted to click Wish on his attack, but I decided that if he goes for Swords Dance, my best play is to Dragon Pulse and just kill that thing. So basically there's only Yuxi, only Manaphy anymore. And I go for Taunt as he actually goes for U-turn. With Manaphy I go for Taunt so that he can't set up the rain anymore, so that he will be even more whittled down next time he comes in. And now I just start Moonblasting at Yuxi because I do more than he does to me. He gets a crit, super effective HP. I believe it's fire. And now I actually realize that I need I need Whimsicott to beat that Manaphy, so I have to try to heal back a little myself. I don't know why he goes for Psyshock. Maybe he's expecting, like he probably expected 2 consecutive switches to Ladias, so that's why I went for Psyshocks over that super effective HP. And I actually get the high roll with Moonblast, so that at least seals the game for me. So I can taunt the Manaphy so that I can, if needed, I can just finish the game with the Ladias. But I go for a lead sheet, and that's a game. Quite a game. I mean, this was a good game, I think. I mean, I'm very proud of my plan because I really struggled with this team build, and I managed to find a very unique way of finding the matchup, not by bringing like powerful offense, but having my powerful offensive mons as uh, defensive checks for his mons, and I managed to also play very well with them. Like, I don't think I really made any misplays really. Patrick did what he usually does best and made some some huge misplays, like that Absol play in the beginning, and then the bringing in the Flawless to my unscouted Whimsicott. But really, Patrick had his chances. Like in the very early game, he was able to gain the momentum very well, so that I couldn't get it back with my bulky mons. But I mean, I think the deciding moment really was that Flawless being in front of my Whimsicott trying to get off that heal bell. me being able to stop that with taunt. But I don't know, maybe the Lucario could have been able to beat me had I lost my Infernape, because it was very close as well, and a lot of plays just went in my favor in the end. So I managed to get a win, but this was a very good game. I think like now I think that the fella is really starting for me in the week 6. I've getting a lot of great games, and I'm definitely counting this one to be one of them. Thanks for the battle, Patrick. This was a great game. Um, what next? I mean, next week. Next week I'm gonna play Derek. Um, he took over Drew's team. He's been playing very well, so I'm excited to play him. He has a terrific team. Should be fun to build for it. Also, that trade happening, the Magneton over Mesprit. Mesprit kinda does the same most of the time that Ladias does, and I haven't even brought it as a Stealth Rock setup, so I thought that Magneton has a very nice synergy with Diancie, so let's preferably have it over Mesprit, so there's that. But that's all for the next week. This is all for today. This is Type signing out.